Now, world leaders and chiefs of technology companies are gathering today in Paris. The idea is to talk about ways of keeping terrorists off the internet. The gathering is co-chaired by French President Emmanuel Macron and the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern. You may remember, of course, that she denounced the use of social media in the shootings of the two Christchurch mosques in March and the live streaming of the massacre on Facebook at the time. And she'll ask the other participants in Paris today to sign the so-called Christchurch Call, which is a pledge to eliminate violent and extremist content online. Well, Lawrence Dodds is a tech reporter based in Silicon Valley. He told me there are social media loopholes that still need to be closed.
Facebook is basically tightening its rules and making it more consistent, because what hate groups online are very good at is when you clamp down on one element of their operations, they find a new way. You've chucked them off Facebook, they come onto Instagram. You chuck them off Instagram, they find something else. And this is, if you your live streaming privileges on Facebook will now be revoked for a broader range of offences that you could take outside of live streaming. It's closing up inconsistencies and loopholes in how Facebook enforces its policies, which is a good thing.
So what do you make of what's being done about this? There's been a huge amount of attention since what happened in New Zealand, but also in Sri Lanka as well, shortly after that. You know, Jacinda Ardern being very vocal about the fact that there needs to be tough action from both governments and companies. But actually, when it comes to what's changed, not a lot has it?
Well, in some ways, quite a lot has changed, actually. I think companies have come a long way in terms of removing hateful speech and cracking down on propaganda. There's been a voluntary code of removing hate speech in Europe that has seen really good results in improving the cleanup rates, how quickly stuff is removed online. And generally companies that 2 years ago were, when these kinds of regulations came up in Germany, for instance, lambasting them as a problem for free speech, and now themselves saying, we want to do this, we want politicians to do this, we've seen the light and we want to be regulated more. I think this is a significant moment, but that significance shouldn't be oversold. This is a voluntary code, and there are certain aspects of the way that violence and extremist material spreads online that this won't cover. On the one hand, the actual spread of material, the way it's taken down, the resourcing and the speed and the intensity of moderating will improve. It's improved over the last 2 years. It will continue to improve. And all these companies are now working together on this. There's a broad consensus, certainly across the developed world, that that's how things should be done. But it doesn't look as if this is going to attack any of the deeper reasons why extremist content spreads so far online, which have to do with the business models of these companies and the way that they depend on virality, on information spreading between people, and algorithms that often prioritize the most controversial and aggressive content. That's a deeper problem, something that I'm not sure any of what's being proposed at this summit can really address.
That is Lawrence Dodds, a technology correspondent based in Silicon Valley. Stay with us here on The Briefing. So much more to come, including